You know what really frustrates me about people is that a lot of y'all love the struggle Olympics, and it is super weird. A lot of y'all honestly love to wear the I struggled, I survived badge on the front of your chest, and I really want y'all to break that shackle hold that it has on you. Let it go. I was watching this TikToker who, she was mentioning that her cleaning lady had quit, and I can't even imagine how frustrating that must be because she got kids, a house, all that, and the one person that you pay to come and clean quit on you. Crazy. But of course, here comes the poverty Olympics people. Oh, you should be grateful that you got a house and kids that clean. Like, ma'am, shut up. Like, y'all will get mad at people paying for the convenience of something when you are literally paying someone's business. You are patronizing a business. Like, a lot of y'all would probably be a lot further in life and be much happier people if you were not fussing at someone because you can't afford the convenience that they have. But don't sit here and use your poverty badge that you love to stick on your chest and puff out and be mad at somebody else because they're venting on something that is inconvenient and frustrating. Like, yeah, I really want break the shackles, y'all. It is 2023. Let's just move on, okay? Like, I want better for y'all. I really do.
Random. It's always random. Winning gold in the struggle Olympics is not a flex. It's just not a flex. I just saw something on Instagram and it was like a meme. Is that what you call it? But it was like, ladies, if you can get a cook, get it. If you can get a cleaner, get it. If you can take some burden off your life, get it. And again, it was a man. I'm not even going to mention the race of the man. There was a man in this person's comments, this black woman's comments. He was like, rah, so you're basically saying you don't want to be a functioning adult. And I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. The commitment to struggle, especially how other people want black women specifically to commit to struggle. Miss me with that. I don't know. It took me a really long time because now I speak to my husband all the time. Like when we first got together, my commitment to the struggle Olympics was like, I want to be number one on that podium. I want to be bust down. I want to be crying. I want to have bloodied hands and nails because where I come from, the way I've been raised, if you ain't struggling, you ain't earned that. You ain't real. Like you're soft if you... No. Again, especially for black women, it's like we have to double down and work harder than most and do all of that shit. The wickedest is there are probably a lot of people around who are just like, you think you're too nice, bruh, 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 let it go. Let it go. So this is to all my women watching. You don't just have to be black, but I'm putting on some extra sauce if you are black, because the reality is the pressure to commit to struggle life in any aspect is even bigger. If you can, relax yourself, darling. I'm literally on my sofa now. Relax yourself. If someone wants to open the door and carry the bag and pick up the tab and rub your back foot, let them do it. You deserve it.
Hey everyone, it's Babe. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back in another video. And y'all, the more and more I spend time on social media, which honestly I should take a break, but also the nature of what I do doesn't really allow for, many social media breaks. But the more and more I'm on social media, the more I'm realizing that, everybody just as a society, as a collective is dwindling. And, one thing that I've honestly noticed this for quite some time, but I think more and more people are starting to pick up on it, is that people are lacking a lot of empathy and compassion and grace nowadays. Like, it's going beyond just being selfish and people only thinking about them or what's best for them. Like, people are just very mean and nasty and hateful. Like, everybody has this mindset that like no one is supposed to treat each other with like decency empathy and respect. People don't, again, they aren't compassionate. They don't care about other people. They don't try to empathize with other people. They just opt to make other people feel bad, tear other people down, project their own insecurities onto other people. And it's just crazy how you can't even have real moments anymore, because you'll have people that will take advantage of that and make you feel even worse, and they'll take that as an opportunity to pile on you and even joke on you and your struggles and what you're dealing with. I mean, it's just really, really sad that, like, even when, you know, you may be going through a tough time, right, and either you post it online, or even with these like celebrities, right, when things come out about them, no one shows any compassion or grace to people anymore. And I do feel like part of it is because everybody is struggling and everybody has stuff going on, and so I feel like it's easy to maybe look at someone else that has their own struggles, and maybe because they aren't struggling as bad as you are, it's easy to judge them and to not feel bad, because it's like, oh girl, like I got it worse. But just because someone may be struggling in a way that doesn't seem as bad to you, it doesn't negate what they're going through. You know, it's the same way with, like, because I honestly, because I remember back when I was in school, right, like it just seemed like anytime you tried to complain about anything, people would immediately go to, oh, there's kids starving in Africa, like as if, like, and like I get what people mean when they when they go to that, like, oh, there's people out here that are like really, really struggling. But I think we have to stop comparing our struggles to other people, and that's what I really wanted to get into with this video and this whole like struggle Olympics that's going on right now. It just feels like no one has compassion for other people, because everybody's struggling and everybody's struggles are different, and some you could argue are harder struggles than others, but ultimately we all have battles. And I think that instead of judging other people for their struggles or trying to compare your struggles to theirs, I think we could all benefit from showing each other grace and compassion no matter what another person is going through. And even though you see that a lot with celebrities, right, because obviously with celebrities they have wealth and they have fame. Well, some of them have wealth. I feel like we've seen more and more too, like a lot of celebrities that are, you know, well known, they actually aren't as wealthy as you may think. You know, fame doesn't always equal having a ton of money in your bank account. You know, you'll have people that are really famous, or maybe were on shows that were widely loved when you were younger, and then you come to find out that they're making 3 cents a month from it or whatever. Like,
I've never been paid one residual for Ned's Declassified ever.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Let's go.
We're here with
Devin Werkheiser.
And where are we?
We are out in front of Netflix.
And why are we striking?
The business interests, the corporate interests, the executive interests are undervaluing and disrespecting the very labor that builds up their industry. I've been a SAG-AFTRA member since I was a kid, and all of us know it right now. Unless you're in the top 0.01% of this industry, you're making less and less, and there's rising cost of living in LA.
Yeah, it's expensive in California, right?
You know! And I've seen it, like guest star roles, recurring roles, all the base salary, which is actually what most of us make, it's not enough.
I remember some people were like, 150, she greedy, that's a lot of money. Let me break this down for you. Okay. When you start making that kind of money, Uncle Sam takes 50%. So let's do the math. We're going to act like this romper room. You know how they give you for those shows, they let you compute it for a second. So that leaves me with 75 now, right? Yep. Then I have to pay another 30% to my team who did all the work to get me that job. Yes. So I don't pay them 30% of the 75. No. I pay them 30% of the 150 that comes out of my 75. So what does that compute to? Okay, so let's break it down like this. You have 12 months in a year to make your money, right? If you do a film for 5 months, that takes you off the market for anything else to earn any other kind of coin until you're done with that show. At the time, my son's school tuition, because he was in high school at Buckley, was $30,000. I chose my son's education over fancy cars and all those things. And so literally for 5 months, that's what I made. His tuition. Now what? I got to hit the pavement again, and I got to scrounge up another check.
But streaming got to get their shit together, because I don't understand how the fuck you get paid off of that shit. Like, I mean, can somebody explain to me how you can get 1 billion streams and not get $1 million? Like, where the fuck is the money? When I first came out, my records would sell based off of physical. If you sold 1 million copies, that means if $9.99, $9 million, you get this percentage, that's what it is. So if I sell how many streams, how much money do I get? It's not being translated and it's not working for the artist right now. And I just want to speak to that in the music industry. Like, that's fucked up. And we need to find a way to figure that out the same way the writers are figuring out. The writers are striking because streaming, they can't get paid. Because when it's on the platform, it's not like in the box office. In the box office, if it does all these numbers, you may get an up. Oh, it did this many, here's another check. But on streaming, you got 300,000 hours that somebody watched your movie. Where's the money?
So you also can't look at somebody that's well known, whether it's a celebrity or an influencer, and just assume that they have all the money in the bank. But even with that being said, right, you'll see people who, you know, are well known and are celebrities or are influencers, and they express some of their struggles, and people are quick to dehumanize them because they're like, oh, you have all the money in the world, like you have nothing to complain about. And again, it's like, yes, they have more money than you, and yes, they may have access to more things than you, but that doesn't mean that they still aren't human and they still can't go through things. And to almost take away or to invalidate someone's capability of feeling any type of sadness or depression or grief because from the outside looking in, it looks like they have so much more going for themselves, I think is unfair and I think is inhumane to do. The reason why this topic even came to mind is because of a video that had circulated on Twitter where this woman, she was speaking about her financial situation and how both her and her husband have really good jobs. She didn't say what the jobs were or specifically how much they make, but she said, you know, we make pretty good money, you know, both individually and definitely together. But she said that even after paying for all their bills, groceries, like all their necessities, she only has roughly $200 left after all of that.
This mom of 2 kids can't hold back tears while talking about her bills, despite she and her husband making good money.
We both have good jobs. I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I work full-time. He works full-time. We just got paid this past Friday, right? We paid the mortgage, bought some groceries, put some gas in the car. Guys, it is Tuesday, and we have like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday. We don't live in a big house. We live in a little ranch, 1,100 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, us and our 2 kids. I make good money. He makes good money. We don't live above our means. I don't know what less than paycheck to paycheck is. What is that? Poverty. As a registered nurse, with a husband with a second income. Somebody has to do something to change this. I don't know what to do. I'm so stressed out. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Now what? Now what?
Is that fair?
And the video that had went viral was actually someone that was reacting to her video and basically making fun of this lady, saying that, you know, oh, $200 is, you know, like basically trying to say that this lady had no reason to be upset or sad about the fact that she only had $200 left, because some people would be lucky to have that. And it really made me upset to not only see her say this, but to see the amount of comments under this video agreeing with her. People were literally making fun of this lady for being upset that she only had $200 left. And I'm like, so we are that far gone as a society that we are really, like, everybody's just okay with that. Everyone is okay with making very very little to nothing with a good paying job. People are fine with having to work 2 to 3 jobs just to barely afford anything. Like, y'all are really okay with that? It's just, it blows my mind. Same thing with, and I saw a little bit of this, when I was covering, the job market and things like that. And of course, you saw people of a certain generation, and I'm not going say it, but it was pretty evident. It's like they've normalized struggle so much that even the thought of wanting better for yourself, like, they can't even fathom it. Or they're just so like, it's the same thing with the student loan thing. It's like, oh no, I had to struggle, I had to do all this, I had to work 2 to 3 jobs, so you gotta struggle in the way that I struggled. And it's like, we have to stop playing the struggle Olympics.
Grind culture is rooted upon the false belief that we are not successful and we are not worthy unless we are producing constantly. Grind culture is the fuel that keeps the gears of the false matrix turning. And you're starting to see that people are beginning to collectively wake up and know and feel in their spirits and in their hearts that another way outside of grinding is possible when it comes to living, working, and being.
And it's just crazy that people made it seem as though like having $200 left in your bank account, especially as a 2-income household, is like okay, and that it should be normalized, and that and yes, you should be thankful for anything that you have, right? But I don't think that it's wrong to want more, but not only want more, but to get what you deserve. Like, I'm sorry, if I am in a 2-income household and I'm making a good amount of money and my partner's making a good amount of money and we only got $200 left, that is like not okay. And I think the lady also said too something about living paycheck to paycheck, and then people went to war about that, and they're like, oh, that's not living paycheck to paycheck. Living paycheck to paycheck is when you don't have any money left after paying your bills. And it's just like, whether it's $0 or $200, to me that's still living paycheck to paycheck, because they're like, anything could happen. Her car could break down, someone could get sick, something could, she might have to, get some house maintenance done, like maybe something stops working in the house, like anything could happen, and the next thing you know, she has no money or she's in the negative. And so to me, that's in my opinion, that's not doing well. And to just see so many people acting as if $200 is a lot of money, especially in today's economy, it was just so wild to me. Again, people literally saying like, oh, why is she crying over, like, I don't know. It's just, it really showed me that people just don't have empathy anymore. They don't have compassion for other people. They just want to be mean, and they want other people to struggle the way that they struggle. And people feel like if you don't have it as hard as they do, then you're not allowed to be upset about anything. And I just don't agree with that.
We have like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday.
So you own a home and you have $200 to $300 left over from your paycheck after paying your bills and getting groceries? Shut the fuck up. You know how many of us are out here with just struggling to get by with a lot less than that? If I had $200 or $300 left over after paying all my bills, me and my daughter are going out. We're going shopping and going out to eat. Stop fucking crying.
He still works.
Okay, so if she's sitting there crying with a husband with a second income in her household, what do y'all think the rest of us are doing? I mean, it's so crazy how she's crying, and I'm just laughing to keep from crying, because baby, even though I feel her pain, you just gonna have to go out and get a second stream of income, baby. That's really it. Your hustle's gonna have to be hustling.
And it's crazy because we've been in this, phase for a while where everything is just about paying bills, right? And to a certain degree, yes. But also, do y'all not feel as though you deserve to also live your life? Like, the idea of just working to pay bills and that's it, to me and to a lot of people, I feel like sounds miserable. And it's just like, why would you want that to be your entire life? life. This lady she's not Gen Z. She's clearly like in her 30s or 40s. Again, she has a husband, multiple children that she's taking care of, a house that she's paying for. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like you do all this work. You work your 2 to 3 jobs or whatever to make ends meet. And then you have no money left to literally do anything. And again, working 2 to 3 jobs, you don't even have time. Forget the money. You don't even have time to do anything else. You don't have time. And yes, these things are a luxury, right? Going on vacation is a luxury. Going shopping is a luxury. Going out to eat, you can say, is a luxury. Yes, there are certain things that are luxuries. But it's like, do you not feel that you deserve luxury? You know what I mean? Like, you're working 2 to 3 jobs, or again, you're working a job that pays a lot of money. You don't think you deserve to go shopping every now and again? You don't think you deserve a night out at the movies here and there? Like, it's almost scary to think that a lot of people don't even feel like they deserve to enjoy their lives. They feel like it is their duty to just work and pay bills, and that's it, and that they don't deserve to experience anything else that life has to offer outside of work, and that they get upset when there's people out there who want to experience life.
I'm not trying to live to work. I'm trying to work to live. Do you get?
Yeah, but don't you think the point of living is to work?
No.
No.
If you think that, then there's a big problem. I'll be real.
That's a major
problem. That's a big problem. Brother, come on, man. I thought you were better than this.
When a person doesn't work, what the hell do they have time for? What do they live for?
Family,
yeah,
friends, going out,
experiences,
enjoying, traveling, eating,
and the
drinking,
only way you can do all of that is if you work.
So a lot of us don't know the difference between living to work and working to live. Let me spell it out for you really quick. Living to work is exactly what you heard. You get up every day, generally because you have no plan. It's just a monotonous circle every single day, one thing after another. You just get up, go to work, pay bills, wash, rinse, repeat, and in between time, you may get to enjoy a little fruit of your labor. Working to live is where you start making decisions that's based on being able to prioritize what you need, what you want, and finding a plan to elevate yourself so that you can maximize on the greatest level of earnings for the least amount of time doing so. As far as I'm concerned, I've spent way too much time in my life and acquired quite a bit of gray in the process. It's time to start making better decisions, people. Live a little.
The thing is, like, it's not that there isn't enough money to go around, because there is. And I think, again, it all boils back down to capitalism, because it's like you have these millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires that just sit around and do nothing all day while they're collecting all this money. And it's like, yes, you could argue maybe some have worked hard for that money and they can use it however they choose. But at the end of the day, let's not sit up here and act like there's not enough money to go around. Let's not sit up here and act like there isn't enough money to pay people what they deserve, and that there isn't enough money to accommodate and adjust for the inflation that's happening. Like, you know, everything is very costly. People can barely afford groceries, and that should not be the case, because again, it's not that there is a lack of money. It's just that the people that are in power, and a lot of these people that have the money, they're sitting here trying to cut costs, letting people go. You know, you can even argue AI might be playing a factor in that. Like, all of these big corporations, they're sitting here trying to not only cut costs, but then also trying to, you know, increase prices and trying to get over on people. I literally just seen an article the other day about how apparently all the major, like, egg brands, like, you know how people were complaining about eggs being like $8 and just being way too high. They literally just got sued, I think, for price gouging, like, eggs. Like, the eggs didn't need to be that high. They just all came together and raised their prices to make it look like it had to be that high, and subjected people to these outrageous prices for eggs, and now they're being held accountable for it.
Why were eggs so expensive? Because egg producers were engaging in price fixing. Yesterday, a federal jury found the largest 2 egg producers in the U.S., as well as the 2 biggest egg industry groups, who have engaged in a scheme to raise and fix egg prices. The case now now moves to a damages phase to see how much all of these culprits are going to have to pay. So to answer everyone's question, yes, inflation was partly due to price gouging and greedflation. And how much more of this illegal behavior is actually going on? Meanwhile, egg prices are down this year, so happy Thanksgiving.
And so it's like you have, these shady, corporations that are trying to take advantage of people financially, and it's not okay. And people are peeping game, and they're demanding better, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't know why anybody would be against that. That's the part that has me so perplexed. It's like, why are you against having better for yourself? I don't get that. It's like you have a group of people who are literally fighting for you and speaking out and saying, hey, we deserve better pay, we deserve to actually be able to live life. We should not be working these 6-figure jobs and barely be able to get by. Like, y'all don't think that's crazy? Y'all don't think that there's people out here that are making 6 figures who are also saying that they're struggling to pay bills and buy groceries? Like, you don't think that's crazy? And that's what I'm saying, is like, you have people that are speaking out and talking about these things, and you have people like, the ones that were in the comments making fun of this lady, saying like, oh, well, if your 6-figure job isn't paying enough to pay the bills, just pick up an extra side hustle. Why is that your go-to? Why is the go-to to work yourself into the ground and just work more, just work harder, as opposed to saying, hey, these corporations and the government should be looking out for us? Why are we constantly having to pick up 2 to 3 jobs to make ends meet? That should not be a thing. Like, that's not okay. And to say that it's always been like that would be false. Yes, has there always been people who have worked 2 to 3 jobs? Sure. But making 50 grand a year 10 years ago does not hold the same weight as it does today. And to say that the solution for that is for us to pick up another job is crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. Why is it up to us to accommodate for these corporations being greedy? Why is that on us to do?
Y'all piss me off so bad. This woman came to TikTok. She is a registered nurse. Her husband has a good job. To tell y'all, they only have $200 to $300 until next Friday. And y'all want to talk about, oh, I can make $16 last a week. You're missing the fucking point. If a registered nurse and a man with a good job can't even afford their own shit, how the fuck are we gonna afford our shit? Y'all are missing the whole fucking point. Y'all talking about, oh, this is new poor, I've been used to this. That's not even the point. Y'all just invalidating her fucking feelings. Like, I really hate the internet. Y'all missing the point. Y'all want to talk about what you've been through. If she, a registered nurse, that's supposed to be a good job. That's what a lot of black people and whoever else is trying to be a nurse is in that field for, trying to get there, trying to help people, but also make good money. If she alone cannot afford her own lifestyle with her salary, that's supposed to be a good salary that they told us to go to college for, how are we? Y'all are missing the whole point. Like, oh my God, people piss me off so bad. And I really feel like because she's a white woman, y'all are trying not to show her no sympathy. Just because she's white don't mean she don't deserve sympathy. Because I bet you, if this was a black family, if this was a black woman coming to the internet crying, it would be like, oh, sis, yes, I understand. This shit really hard. Oh, but because it's a white woman, it's different. She don't deserve sympathy. Like, y'all really pick and choose. Because I'm telling you right fucking now, if that was a black woman, y'all would not be trying to clown her in the comments, invalidating what she's saying. Like, come on now. Y'all, we as people, the internet, TikTok, y'all need to really do better and get y'all shit together, because this is not it.
Like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday.
Okay, this is my second time stitching this, because the first time trying to put captions on this video crashed the app. So I'm sorry there's no captions on here. It's the app's fault. So the stitch video is going quadruple platinum on Twitter, which, as we know, is the hub for the brokest, most uneducated financial advisors. So all of this infighting that I see in the comments on Twitter about this video is the reason why we don't have any class solidarity. I'm sick of y'all. The poverty level, do y'all understand what the poverty level is, what it means? The poverty level, I don't know why it was based this way, but whatever. It changes based on how much you make and how many people are in your family. So the poverty level for a single person with no kids, no dependents, right, living on their own might be here. But the poverty level for someone who has 3 kids and a husband is here. Both of these levels are still poverty. It's just a little bit more money because there's more people to support. Do y'all not understand that? Everyone in the comments talking about, oh, you have $200, girl, you got $300, you doing good. I had to make $40 stretch. That's terrible. I hate that for you. I really do. But $200 can be blown away immediately with 3 kids. I don't even know how old her kids are, but kids getting sick, that $200 is gone. Get a flat tire, gone. What if you have a student loan debt that you have to pay every month? Gone. You made $40 stretch. Were you in college when you made that $40 stretch? Were you living with somebody? Did you have roommates when you made that $40 stretch? Did you have any dependents at all? Because if not, then this conversation isn't for you. It doesn't matter if it's $200 or $20. It's all still not enough. The way that gas is so expensive, the way that this food is so expensive. I think this is what's tipping people over the edge. It's the combination of gas being too expensive, food being too expensive, rent being too expensive. Those 3 things, those are essentials. Human essentials: transportation, housing, and food. And they are all so expensive that the middle class is gone. That lady is not middle class. That is a poverty level. If you don't have enough money to pay for your essentials with enough left over to save and have fun expenditures, you're not middle class. If you have a lot of debt, you're not middle class, babes. So when I see people like, oh, she ain't even poor, she got $300 left over, you're not thinking properly. Also, last thing, can we talk about how she only said she paid for her mortgage, food, and gas off of 2 parents who make good money. Good money is in quotes because it's supposed to be enough, but it isn't. Good money. She only paid for mortgage, gas, and food. Y'all are forgetting the rest of the bills.
And so, yeah, I think just seeing how people reacted to this video, it just made me very sad. And I was happy that I wasn't the only person feeling that way. I've seen a lot of other people who responded, more so in regards to the comment section and about how the lack of empathy is just scary nowadays. Like, people just, I don't even know. And not even just a lack of empathy, but just people wanting to be complacent and just being okay with being mistreated and not being paid fairly and not getting what they rightfully deserve as a working class citizen in America. Like, the fact that people don't feel like they deserve better, I feel sad for those people. And again, I think it's frustrating when those people try to project that onto other people who are trying to make a difference and are trying to make a change. And so I actually wanted to read some of these comments that I saw, as well as the comments responding to what people were saying. So this one person said, let me see if I have this right. She says she has $200 to $300 left after they paid their bills, the mortgage, bought groceries, filled their gas tanks, and she can't make it another week until they both get paid again. What am I missing here? Wouldn't that mean their next paychecks are theirs to keep since everything's already paid for the month? Now, I don't recall her saying whether or not she gets paid once or twice a month, but let's say she gets paid twice a month, right? So the $200 she had left over would be $400 at the end of the month. I'm sorry, like, maybe someone can explain this to me respectfully in the comment section. I'm just not seeing how $200 to $400 is a lot of money left over. I don't see how that's not considered struggling. And you know what's so crazy? Like, this is really this is really putting a lot of things into perspective for me, right? Because I've always said too that, like, to me, it doesn't make any sense for me to move out unless I am making enough money to take care of myself and not have to be stressed or anxious about how my bills are being paid. Like, if I don't know how I'm gonna afford rent the next month, then I have no business moving out, right? But I did not realize, like, how many people were living like this and have normalized it. Like, because I'm seeing people say, like, yeah, like, I'm lucky to have $10 left after I pay for everything. And I did not realize, like, people were living like this. Because even, like, with my mom, right, like, I don't know exactly how much she makes or how much she has in her bank account. But anytime an emergency pops up or anytime she has to, like, you know, get something, she doesn't even blink an eye. And a lot of the things that she be buying here and there is more than $200. So I have a pretty good sense of, like, you know, she has, like, quite a bit of money saved up. Like, I don't think my mom has ever, and again, I have no way of knowing this for sure, but just kind of knowing how my mom spends her money, I can't see her only having a couple $100s at one time in her account. And so I kind of just assumed that's how everybody was. Like, I've just figured that everybody, at least not everybody, let me not say everybody, I figured people that were in their 30s and 40s with established careers and good paying jobs, I assumed that demographic had a couple $1,000s saved up at all times. That's what I assumed. So please, because I feel like someone in the comments, because that's another thing too, y'all don't be watching the videos all the way through before commenting, because sometimes y'all will say stuff that I address, like, literally in the next sentence. So again, I want to say, this doesn't apply to everybody. I understand there's a lot of people that are struggling at all ages, at all career levels. But I just assumed, again, that people that are in their 30s to 40s, whether they're married or not married, partnered or not partnered, I just figured that if you're well established in your career and you're making a certain amount of money, that you have more than a couple of $100s saved up. Like, I kind of just assumed that for most that, again, are well off into their careers. So to know that there are so many people out there that have $10 left, like, y'all can't be okay. Like, y'all are okay with this? Like, y'all are okay with having $10 left? Like, oh shit, I would be lucky to have $20. We gotta think bigger, y'all. We have to think bigger and want better for ourselves, because this is not okay. No one should be working a job making $80K a year and have $10 left. That's not okay. That's not okay. And there's so many people in this comment section that are saying that, like, yeah, I make X amount of money and only have $15 left. You about to sit up here and tell me that having $15, $20, $30 to your name after all your bills are taken care of, you gonna sit up here and tell me that's not being broke and that's not being poor? That's the other argument that's being made in these comments. People are saying that having $200 left after paying for everything is not considered broke or poor. Then what is it considered? You're not living comfortably. I can assure you that. You are not living comfortably having $200 left in your bank account. Like, I'm not understanding this. I'm not getting it. Like, someone said, oh, maybe she can't afford that around the world trip with this pay. Ma'am, it's not about taking trips. If her car breaks down, she's done. If her tires pop and she got to get new tires, she's done. Like, what are we talking about? If one of the kids gets sick, she's done. Like, what are we talking about? And also keep in mind too, she said that this is with her income and her husband's income combined. They have $200 to $300 left. So again, y'all don't think that's crazy? Y'all don't think that's crazy that these companies are not paying you enough to, again, accommodate for the current economic climate to where you're able to live comfortably? Like, I'm sorry. Like, and you know, if you disagree with this, you disagree with this, and it is what it is. But I personally feel as though you should be able to get by on one good paying job. If you have a job where you're making, again, 70K, 80K, even I would argue 50K. 50K used to get you by. Like, you used to be able to get like a nice apartment. Maybe you have to get an apartment with a roommate, but you get like a nice little spot, you know, be able to afford some groceries here and there, maybe eat out every once in a while. Like, 50K used to allow you to do this. And that's why you'll see people too saying, like, yeah, back in the day and back in the 90s, people could work at JCPenney's and afford a house. But nowadays, you might work 2 full-time jobs and you got $200 left? after that, there's no way that y'all are okay with this. So again, I say this to say, stop like getting mad at those that want better. Like, we're fighting for better pay for everybody. And I would argue that the people that want better, they're doing it from a selfless place where they're like, yo, everybody's struggling. People are having a hard time out here. We need to demand that these companies pay us better. But then you have the people that, you know, again, want to play the struggle Olympics, that are thinking selfishly, and they're thinking like, oh, like, nope, it is what it is. Like, just got to pick up another job, just suck it up and deal with it. And it's like, no, like, again, how do you expect anything to get better if you don't fight for it? And so I kind of wanted to also read some of the other comments that I saw in regards to this. So someone says she's still missing a paycheck away from being in a lot of trouble. Do y'all not understand that? It doesn't matter. Sometimes you don't have that 200 because something comes up. Someone then responds saying she works 3 days a week as an ICU nurse. She could easily pick up an extra shift and increase her income by 25%. That's the problem. Again, why is the solution for us to do more work and overwork ourselves? That is a problem. And also my thing is like, listen, whether it's $0 or $200, again, to me, it's all still broke. It's all still struggling, okay? And no one should want to live like that. And you would think that the people that have even less than that would be in agreement with her that this is insane, that this is actually happening. Okay, someone else said the point is a dual income home where both make good money should not be just scraping by. If they're struggling, what does that mean for everyone in the replies? Scrambling to brag about how they have it worse. The ladder is just getting higher for us to climb, but oh, $200. I agree. That's what I'm saying. It's like people are almost bragging about the fact that they have it worse off. And it's like, again, are you not sad about that? Like, you are over here trying to crap on somebody else because they have like a little bit more than you, and not looking at it as, oh, like, we're all out here struggling, like something isn't adding up here. And like I said, like having that type of mentality is scary, because I don't know how anybody expects anything to get better if we can't all come together and want better for ourselves. There's so many people that are just becoming complacent with the way things are. People complain about how terrible everything is, not even just the economy, but just everything. I mean, the school system, society, like just everything. People are just, they're fed up. They're fed up with the way things are, with the way society is, with the way a lot of these systems are set up. But then you have people that'll complain when you try to make a change about it. Okay, here's another tweet that says capitalism foot soldiers in the comments pissing me off. Guys, people should be able to work full-time jobs, pay their bills, and still have enough money to support a small emergency. If she got a flat tire before next week, it'd be over for them. That sucks. And that's literally what I'm saying. And granted, there's always going to be those people that are just willing to accept whatever they get, and no matter how much the system may be taking advantage of them, and however much they may be getting screwed over, they just have this mentality of just suck it up, deal with it, and adjust. But at some point you have to say, okay, this isn't making sense and this isn't okay. Why would anybody, it's one thing if you choose to work 2 to 3 jobs or pick up some side hustles to increase your income, but no one should have to. No one should be forced to do that to make ends meet. Once it gets to that extreme, something's got to change. But in order to implement that change, everybody needs to come together and be on the same accord, and we're just not. We're literally so divided on every little thing. I'm not surprised that things are as bad as they are, because literally no one can put their own feelings to the side and want better for not only just them, for just the greater good. Like, people don't care about other people anymore, and I think that's why we are in this position that we're in. That's why we can't get these student loans forgiven, because you have people that are salty that they had to pay all of their student loans off, that they're not willing to help the next person that also has student loans. They want everybody to have to suffer and pay the same amount of money that they had to pay, just out of selfishness. And I think that if people would stop being so selfish, we probably could get some of these changes made. But unfortunately, people only care about themselves. Okay, so then I was scrolling on the tweet that I just read, and I came across this exchange, right? So someone said, I've been an RN for 25 plus years, and my coworkers always talk about this type of scenario. She needs to work extra shifts as a part-time job for a while. I did, and people who want to get ahead do. These are the same people who see working extra telling you two jobs are for two people, zero empathy. Sorry, she wrote this tweet kind of weird. But again, she's playing into that thing of like, oh, well, if stuff costs more, just work more. And it's just, and then the person, the original poster said, you do realize they have 2 kids to raise. She goes, I had 3 and a husband. Again, struggle Olympics is like, oh, well, I had more people to feed and take care of, and I did it, so suck it up. Then this person said, excuse me, miss, but if you are a RN, should that not be enough? It is insane to expect the average American to work 70 hours a week or multiple jobs just to exist. And that's ultimately what I'm saying. And so at the end of the day, if you do feel that way, if you feel like people should have to work 70 hours to make ends meet, you're a lost cause. Sorry, you are a lost cause. I hope that one day you realize that you do deserve better and that you deserve to live and be comfortable. I pray that you don't go the whole rest of your life feeling like you have to subject yourself to constantly being overworked and underpaid, and that's all you're meant to do and that's all you're meant to experience. I hope that the people out there who feel like they have to work 2 to 3 jobs, or they have to work again 70 plus hours to pay bills, I hope one day y'all realize that y'all deserve better, and hopefully we can all come together and make some changes and demand some changes, because this is absolutely insane. People keep saying the economy is going to get better, but not with this mentality. No, like I said, people are complacent, and the more that people are complacent, the more that companies are going to take advantage of people like this, and they're not going to make changes. All right, I'm going to read this one last tweet, which I think summarizes everything up pretty well. This person said, y'all have normalized poverty so much until it's scary. Yes, that's something she should be stressed over, whether that's your norm or not. One thing could come up and that $200 is gone. Y'all find a problem with everything. Everyone not content with living like that. Exactly. If you are content living like that, then cool, work a little 2 to 3 jobs. But most of us are starting to realize that the way things are currently is just not okay. We deserve to live comfortably. Again, people love to throw out there, oh, y'all just want to go on vacation all the time. Oh, y'all just want to buy Starbucks. It's not about that. But even if, again, it's like people who say this, do you feel like you don't deserve a vacation? You don't feel like you deserve to spend $5 on Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, even though, some of us aren't supporting Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts right now. But, I'm just saying, like, you don't think that you deserve that? What's wrong? Like, what's wrong with wanting that, especially if, again, you worked hard to get to where you are and you make a certain amount of money? Why do you not deserve to go on a vacation maybe once every 3 years or whatever? Again, it's not about living in luxury. It's about living comfortably, and many people are not living comfortably. They're very stressed. They're working to the max. They're working as many hours as they possibly can, picking up extra shifts, picking up extra jobs, and they still aren't living comfortably financially. And I think that is a problem. And I think people are starting to pick up on the fact that it's a problem. And, I felt like it did start heavily more with like Gen Z and millennials. And I'm hoping that more people can see that the way that we're living is not okay. And like I said, there's enough money to go around to ensure that people aren't struggling like this. But yeah, I think that's all I had to say on this topic. Struggle Olympics are real. I haven't just seen it with this situation. I've seen it with a ton of other situations. Like as soon as someone complains about the cost of living, people immediately run to say, oh, well, I have to work 5 jobs, and well, I have $10 to my name. And I think people really need to look into why they pride themselves on that, and why they get upset when others are demanding better. Like if you're one of those people, I would really encourage you to look within and to really question why you feel as though that you should be overworked, and why you should have to work 2 to 3 jobs to pay your bills and to live comfortably. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't see how anybody that's working 2 to 3 jobs in general lives comfortably, to be completely honest honest with you. If you're working more than 80 hours a week, yeah, maybe your bills are being paid and you have some finances left over, but you don't even have time to enjoy those finances. So what really is the point in that? So y'all can answer that for me in the comment section if that's how you feel. But I'm hoping that as more and more people speak about, you know, their current situations, that people start to wake up and realize, like, okay, something's got to give, something's got to change, and we got to demand better. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on this topic in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go ahead, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.